So for pretty much a year and a half after Riley died, um, I probably went to bed, fell asleep, an average of 3:45 a.m. And it's funny. I don't know if I've really talked about it on Slobcore, but it's something I've talked about at length to a lot of people in my life because it's part of the reason that I've been kind of less available and yeah, because basically I've been having to start work later, and thankfully I'm really grateful that my job has been flexible with this. But it has been really annoying, and it just like I have a few theories on what it is. Part of me wonders if it's like this reversion to my night shift COVID times when I was quarantining and living alone and working this night shift since I've worked in person this whole time. I work in a lab. And for 14 months, I got home around midnight and went to bed at 6 in the morning. And in some ways, like Slobcore came from that. A lot of this cooking stuff. It was just my first time in this apartment too. I'd only been living here a couple months when COVID hit. So I wonder if it's like returning to that, and maybe it's returning to that because it's like that's where it feels like I don't know, Riley was struggling with a lot, and I'm kind of like trying to put the pieces together and figure everything out, and maybe return to that. Another part of me thinks that my subconscious always wanted to be awake for the witching hour, waiting for Riley to do some witchy stuff and come back in. I guess also in the COVID times and in the last few years, like me staying up late has been a typical thing. And I always thought it was nice and helpful that I was up late at night, and Riley knew that, and they were often up late at night. And that I could be kind of not a watcher, but I definitely was around and available, and I felt good knowing that I was there if needed. So yeah, maybe it's also me kind of like returning to that. But anyway, the last couple months I've like actually been improving my sleep, and for a while there I was still like going to sleep at 2 a.m. but I keep falling asleep on the couch. I keep falling asleep when I don't want to, which is such a great gift after so long of like whenever I tried going to sleep early, just was not having it. And lots of times that's like when panic would set in. And so a lot of like those late night hours, I did a lot of photo editing, which was really cool. And part of the reason why I was able to post so many photos last year. And I know that everyone enjoyed that, and I enjoyed it. But I guess part of the reason I'm slowing down is because I'm like falling asleep before 2 a.m. And last night I actually went to bed before midnight. And partially because it was like, oh, this day is just, it's just, I'm calling it. And there was definitely a lot of tossing and turning. But at least it wasn't like setting in panic or intense anxiety. And it feels good also being able to get up earlier in the morning. And whenever I brag about this, it's so funny, especially my friends who like work with kids and like work early. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I got to work by 10:30. And there were times where that was really an accomplishment. But anyway, I feel relief to be kind of normalizing that because it hasn't been great. Like it's kept me away from doing a lot of stuff during the week and planning things. Cause when you get home at 8, like, ugh, that's rough. And then when we get home at 8, I also want to stay up till 4 in the morning to get some good evening time. But early on when I like really noticed it and felt completely helpless against it, like I just realized I needed to be gentle with myself. And I'm glad that I have, because, you know, things are improving. But also things are just always going to be something, you know? And anyway, I'm rambling. This is the end. Good night, everyone.